Welcome to the Nuggcast, the only weekly gaming podcast that is fully cel-shaded. I'm Rowan.
Micah.
I'm Georgia.
And I'm Ryan.
This week the game for Gamefoot was Wind Waker. And we all played it.
I mean, Rowan didn't.
I played the tutorial.
Look, Rowan.
He didn't.
Did you pick up the pigs?
I picked up the pigs, all three of them.
He got the most important section of the game done.
We will also be talking about some news and some other games we played this week.
But mainly about the pigs.
Mainly about the pigs.
The best part of Wind Waker is Puppet Ganon, and no one got up to Puppet Ganon because it's right at the end.
Wait, did it come out in
It
2013?
came out on the GameCube.
The re-release did. For
Did
sure.
it?
Mm?
Huh.
The HD remake.
So Wind Waker came out in 2003 on the GameCube, and then again with the HD re-release on the Wii U in 2013.
Yep. Gotta get those Wii U sales that they still didn't get.
Yeah.
What do you think about the game?
We played a game.
How did you find the tutorial, Rowan?
So the thing about the Wind Waker tutorial is, you need to read text. And
Which you were doing. It was just on your phone instead of the video game. So you spent a handful of time being like, I'm gonna do the sword tutorial again. Maybe I'll get the sword.
So apparently when you go to a friend's place to play a game with them, being on your phone talking to your girlfriend the entire time is bad form.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is though.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think it was a good improvement on Ocarina of Time. Majora's Mask is still my favorite. It can't beat that for me. And I really, do I think it can beat Ocarina of Time? Maybe not. But it's up there.
Wind Waker's my personal favourite Zelda, which isn't really saying much because I'm not a huge Zelda fan. My second favourite is Link to the Past because it's kind of the best game in the series. But,
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Rowan
don't
is
you fucking
incorrect.
talk about the GBA.
Firstly, GBC.
The
The
GBA.
best Zelda game, bar none, is Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
DX on the Game Boy Color.
That is actually the first Zelda game that I personally played, so I have a little soft spot for it. But A Link to the Past is very good. It's very good. You should play it.
I do like Super Nintendo.
It's real good.
I come from a place of I do not like the 3D Zeldas. Like, I just do not enjoy them one bit. My favourite Zelda game is definitely A Link to the Past. It's probably even, like, it's up there with some of my favourite games. Like, I really love it. No, A Link to the Past.
Oh.
A Link Between Worlds is the one that came
The
out
new
on.
one.
It's
Yeah,
the
the
3DS
new
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
A Link to the Past.
Sorry, I thought that you hadn't played A Link to the Past.
No, I had, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like one of my top games. It's pretty good. And 3D Zeldas, they're not really my thing.
I like the 3D Zeldas. The cell shading, taking it in that sort of direction, I think was a good idea. It was a
It
good
is
idea.
a very pretty game.
Yeah.
It is very pretty, and
Oh.
I love the as does Ryan, like little smoke effects, like the
Yeah,
dust and
every
stuff.
animation, the
All of the
explosion effects
swirls,
with
yeah.
the swirl. That game is
It's
packed with swirls.
Wonderful.
The very first thing Micah got me to do when I started playing was jump in the water.
Yeah,
The splash is just...
because of the sploosh.
the little splooshes.
Yeah.
It's good, and I love the pigs. All the little characters from the little designs are so cute, but they're usually quite
The
cute.
kid with a
Zelda
little snotty
anyway.
nose.
Ugh.
That kid can die.
Like,
Why does he keep coming near me with his disgusting germs?
I don't know. But that is one thing that that's like I personally feel about the Zelda games is that the 2D Zeldas were like they had a pretty style, like specifically Link to the Past. It was cute. And it had a charm to it and a lot of colors. Then Ocarina of Majora, like I like Majora's Mask, don't really like Ocarina, but they were the first like 3D games, so it was like
The 3D Zelda games.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But like so they obviously weren't really going for looks because it's Nintendo 64.
Well,
but
I think they have their own
they-
feel, but it's
they went a little too edgy, too dark. I think that Zelda's meant to be kind of like Link to the Past and Wind Waker and what Breath of the Wild looks like. Like I think
How do you
it
feel
should
about
look like
Twilight
that.
Princess? Because
Too
I
edgy.
think that I agree that Twilight Princess really was much more like Ocarina of Time
Yeah.
than Majora's Mask, and it was very
100%.
gritty and grayed.
Is
And
Twilight Princess the one that turned Link into a furry?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Sonic
and
Unleashed.
Like, while I love
Thank you.
the Twilight Princess story, I have more fun playing Skyward Sword because it's just more visually appealing
Yeah.
for me.
I think that's like a weird thing about the Zelda games is that like some of them look real good and control nicely, and some of them just don't. And you know, it's over the course of many different generations of consoles, and you know, like over the course of many different timelines of Link dying and shit. But I think.
Reincarnation.
I don't know, something about the entire Zelda series, I personally would like it better if they kind of stuck to something, instead of being like, oh, this one's got weird Egyptian art, this one's got some nice edgy polygons.
I don't mind that it's different.
I know, because like Nintendo's doing sort of the opposite with Zelda as we're doing with Mario. Because with Mario, it's like
The
Same
every
thing over and over
single
again?
time.
Yeah, that's true.
and
I
when they
get
try
sick
something
of it.
different, it tends to
The
that's
Mario
like-
3D Land.
Mario 3D was. Didn't people like that one though?
Is...
It'll be
Oh, no, the
interesting
new
to
one-
see
the Wii U
Mario
one they liked.
Odyssey.
3D
That'll
World
be
they
it.
liked.
Well,
We're talking to each other a lot.
one of my biggest critiques of like just the Zelda series in general is also kind of that it sticks in places that it shouldn't. Like all the games have like just very constant themes. Like I get that it's like, oh, you know, you save your Zelda, you save the princess. There's the Triforce. There's the three people. It's it's always the same people, and it's interesting how they spin the narrative each time.
Yeah.
But it is still the same narrative. And
Exactly.
it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of really interesting stuff that they do with it, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the same thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It doesn't bother me so much because I really do like the exploration.
Yeah,
sort of part of it.
that's a Nintendo thing. Like,
Yeah.
the stories in the Marios and the Zeldas and the Pokemons, they're all the same. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm doing a thing that has the same mechanics as last game, but hey, ooh,
Yeah, it's-
Just so
it's
the
just
fans
like-
will get mad at us. We know Nintendo doesn't make Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
It's interesting
Fuck
that
off.
you hate that
That's
about
me giving
Zelda,
the
but
fans,
you
not you.
love Pokemon so much.
no, that's true. And probably the reason for that is that I do not play Pokemon for the story.
no one does.
And the ones that push the boat out the most are actually some of my favorites, like Black and White and Black and White 2. They push the boat out a lot more than the other ones, and because of that, it's like one of my favorite ones.
I too
Yeah.
agree that Black and White 2 are the best in the series.
Yeah.
Because I've played all of them without exception, pretty much.
Georgia doesn't like them.
I've also
Oh,
only played a
yeah.
few of them.
My favorite would be very unpopular opinion. My favorite is X.
Yeah, that's who.
Actually, for me, it might be Sun and Moon.
Yeah, and Sun and Moon were really good contenders. I hated X and Y so
I
much.
loved it.
Anyway, this is a tangent about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Um, The music, the aesthetic, the sound effects, like this game, I feel like it's one of the few GameCube games that could hold up. Like there's like Resident Evil and stuff hold up like very mechanically.
Yeah.
but
visually, this game honestly could hold up.
It has
for
so
long.
much tit fucking polish. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is
Like, that's a Nintendo
The best kind
thing.
of polish.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
Like
Nearly
we
as good
played
as
on
booty
the-
polish.
Yeah, we played on the GameCube version, and even then it's
It
so
holds
beautiful.
up.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like Wind Waker and Link to the Past hold up. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask don't. If you go for a style, it's much better than trying to be like, ooh, like there was the whole thing before Wind Waker got released, how the GameCube Zelda was meant to be this dark, gritty thing, and it had the
Yeah.
GameCube graphics. It all looked like
Well, like
Resident
Twilight
Evil color
Princess.
palette. Yeah, it was all real edgy, and everyone was really excited for that. And then when they were like, hey, this is the GameCube Zelda, and it was Wind Waker, and it was all really cartoony and all that kind of stuff, there was a lot of backlash. And everyone was like, this isn't the edgy bullshit that I wanted more edgy bullshit. And then it became like a cult favorite because
Yeah.
of how stylized it is, which is a thing that happens a lot.
I think that most Zeldas have a large amount of charm to them, and
Yes,
like I
for
would
sure.
definitely say that Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask do have that,
Yeah,
and that's
definitely.
something that they carried through with. But just changing the style made it just a little bit better for me.
Yeah.
there's also on Dolphin, the emulator that I use, there's a very nice little feature where you can crank up the anti-aliasing and the resolution to 4K. The game looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so good. Like, I know it works with pretty much any GameCube game, but specifically this one, it's like, am I playing the Wii U version?
Yeah.
It's probably about that level.
Wind Waker really is, like, I feel like the best looking GameCube game. Like,
Definitely.
I like,
can't think of
because,
another one.
It's
well, yeah,
no
because,
Ikaruga.
like, the, what?
Anyway.
Space shooter. It looks good.
Like, the GameCube was like, it could handle a shitload more than the N64, so they're like, make it graphics. And then they're like, nah, Wind Waker, baby. Mm-mm.
It's quite heavy. Like, if you think about it, all the particle effects.
Yeah, well, of course. Not even, I'm talking about on a visual level, less than a technical level. Yeah.
What did you think? I thought that Wind Waker was maybe a little easy, though.
It's quite an easy game,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, it's definitely a lot easier than Majora's Mask.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of the cartoony style lends to that. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, it looks cartoony.
I don't think it needs to, though.
A lot of it, I think more than anything, it is very much a kid's game. Like, I don't think, like, obviously, kind of like Pokemon's a kid's game, but there are millions of adults that play it. Like, it's a kid's game, it's easy,
But so was
but...
Ocarina of Time and Majora's
Exactly.
Mask, but they are definitely a lot difficult. More
Yeah.
difficult?
There are parts in Wind Waker that are difficult, though. My favorite part in the game is the puppet Ganon fight, which you just kind of, you gotta nail it to actually do it. Like, his third phase or whatever it is just like kind of bullshit, but it's like hard fun instead of, I don't know, it gets more challenging as the game progresses, because duh. But, yeah, I think that the bosses are really where the Zelda games kind of come through for me, the temples and all that.
Yeah.
I think the first boss was the only boss that I had trouble with, but that was because I was still wrestling with the controls.
Which boss was that?
The first
the
boss.
scorpion-like one.
Yeah, the big
It's
lava
in the
worm
lava
thing.
where you hook
And
on
then
the
you hook
tail.
the dragon down.
Yeah, I like that one.
It is a very cool fight. I loved it, but I did have trouble with that just because I hadn't done a 3D Zelda fight.
You
I
were
was
also emulating it.
Yeah, I
That's
was also
given bad controls.
I mean, he'd be using controllers, so it'd be fine.
Yeah, I was
Still not
using a
much better.
controller.
It's using controllers to emulators works surprisingly well.
It felt
Yeah,
felt exactly like using the controller on a.
Yeah, it would feel the same.
Yeah, it felt exactly
Emulators
the
are
same.
really good at that.
I actually still own a GameCube, and so like it's for me it's like it feels very similar. Like whether or not like with a lot of my like things that I have about it, it's I definitely know that I'm using a controller so that the way the controls feels will be ever so slightly different, and I don't know the extent of that, but obviously like the controls were probably like a big point for me, like the not an option to change having inverted controls is the worst thing in the world.
Definitely.
They fixed that in the HD remix.
Did
Oh,
yeah,
was
thank
it
God.
good?
Yeah, it's not inverted by default.
Oh, good. That's because that was like a massive problem for me. I just like
Yeah.
it's inverted sometimes. It's not inverted other times. It's never fun. Like I just need options for that.
I find that a lot of Nintendo games have trouble with controls. Like, everyone loves it. I don't even care. Like, I fucking hate Mario 64 exclusively for the controls. I think it's charming. I think it's nice. I don't want to play it ever. No matter what controls I use, it's just like, stop fucking doing that, Mario Man. Mario, I'm sorry.
Mario. For me, it was kind of. It really lacked a sense of mystery that I tend to feel when playing Legend of Zelda games.
Yeah.
It was very just
that's
straightforward, and I was just like,
I like that.
yeah, it was just.
It's different. It's not, it makes it less Zelda-y.
Yeah,
but I definitely liked it.
did. Like, it had a lot of charm, and it was cute and adorable,
And
but I just kind of felt like it wasn't a part of the series. Like,
I think a lot of the cell shading also tends to that it's a stray from the path.
yeah,
As
it's
a
not.
game.
I can get over the cell shading. That's not my
Yeah. Or like
issue.
it indicates. I feel like I feel
Yeah.
like that's just another factor in the fact that they were
I
trying to
think
pull
it
away
was
from
a
the series.
mistake, though.
The cell shading?
No,
The changes.
the sort of it feels very small, even though it's meant to feel very, very big. It feels very small to me.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I suppose it's like coming from someone that like you really love the series, and I'm kind of like, it's Zelda's alright. Like, it's
But
even you'd be an idiot if you said you hated Zelda. What you
Watching you play, and I was just telling you, oh, this is your last time you have to hit the boss, and I've never played the game before.
Yeah, that's every Zelda though.
Yeah, and it's also kind of just like a game rule. Like a lot of the things
Rule
are
of
like,
threes.
the rule of threes. It's giving you kind of visual cues to that kind of thing. Like I could kind of tell as well, not as well as you.
No, I mean
but,
like also, I could tell you what the boss was. I many times told you what the boss would be before we even saw.
Yeah. Well, that's something that's also in every Zelda. It's like
Yeah.
you go into the dungeon or the temple, you get a gear, and then you use the gear on the boss, and he's what it did.
Yeah, but it's like I was like it's going to be a totem. The third boss.
Yeah.
The Tower of the Gods boss.
I want to talk about that boss. So
No. He's it's
the first tower, the first temple, I guess.
it's not a temple. I think.
It's not a temple.
It's
It's the big temple that rises from the ground, the sea.
And you get the totem.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and you fight the giant arrow dispensing robot.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
he
hands.
gives you arrows.
Yeah, with the hands.
It is so
yeah.
incredibly easy. If you run out
It's
of
a
arrows,
really easy fight.
Okay, Rowan.
Yep.
If you run out of arrows, you have 30 arrows, and I calculated it. You need 23 arrows to defeat this boy. Okay. If you run out of arrows, if you lose all 30 and you still haven't defeated him, he will just drop out another 10.
Oh, okay.
That's
Bull.
that's something.
That is too easy.
Well,
you
that's-
should be punished.
That's something I was saying, and something that also relates to your how it's straightforward and it feels very small. I think that also means that again, it's kind of more of a kids game. It's easy, like if you fuck up the boss fight, then it's gonna be like, here's some arrows, baby, and it's.
I think that
I think
it should be harsher.
I played the tutorial on hero mode, and I still felt it was a bit easy.
Yeah. Ooh, big boy.
Can we just get Rowan to leave the room because he didn't play the game.
I'm just gonna detract from that because Rowan's the worst. One of the things that I really like about the game is the combat, how satisfying it is when you hit something and it just flies backwards, or
Yeah,
it's
combat
kind
is
of
like all 3D Zelda.
well, yeah.
It's improved upon, I feel.
It's it feels very satisfying when you knock it and something goes back. Annoying thing is if they're on the ground, they're invincible. And it's really you're just sitting there wailing away, waiting for them to become active again so you can hit them. But it's like I've just been wailing away at you for this 3 seconds that you're slowly clambering back up.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. It's interesting. Every point you guys bring up that's a good thing, I'm like, yeah, and every point you bring up that's a bad thing, I was like, no, I like that.
Yeah.
So I think I probably like the game too much. I fucking love the sense of adventure. I love the and sailing around and going through all these different temples and dungeons and stuff. It's and there's a certain amount of islands in the game, and exploring and looking at each of the islands is really fun, and they have all these own little things, and I think it's such an adventure that I can personally look past all the things that are at the core of it flaws.
Yeah. It's speaking of the sailing, I had really two minds about the sailing because the sailing felt really fun.
Yeah,
It felt you're sailing, you're going there, you're like, oh, there's an island. I'll come, maybe I'll come back to that. Maybe I'll just go up, check out what's going on. And then I was also like, this is boring. I'm just going to leave my controller here and walk off so it can just automatically take me where I need to go.
I definitely agree with the sailing. It is a lot of empty space. I like to see it as chill down time, but it's boring.
Did they specifically do something to fix
in
that?
The HD remake, I was about to bring that up. In the HD remake, you can go to the auction house and get the fast sail, which pretty much just means you zoom dang fast and you don't have to change the direction of the wind. When you want to sail in a direction, you turn and then it changes the direction of the wind for you.
I would like to mention that maybe Ryan spent a little more time sailing than some because he did not understand how to read a compass.
Did you get lost?
No.
No?
I didn't get lost. I accidentally went the wrong direction once. But
When
it
I
didn't take
pointed
much
out that
time.
he was going the wrong way, he's like, "Oh, is that how the compass works?"
So I was thinking of video game compass rather than real compass. Like it's
Right.
like,
I
oh, it faces
understand.
north, but normally it's like, oh, the arrow is pointing to,
I
The,
understand
yeah,
what
the
you
arrow's
were
pointing the way
thinking,
that the
but-
wind's going.
But once
yeah.
you the arrow always points north. That's what it does. That's how a compass works.
And also, the actual reason I went to the wrong place was because I was like, oh, this one in the top corner is the island that I started on without reading the name of the island, so I immediately went to it, and then I was like, oh no, it's actually at the bottom of the map. It didn't take that much longer. But,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So, but he's a goof.
She brought that up just to offend me.
Yeah.
The story in the game,
Mm-hmm. Tetra,
it's...
little sister.
Yeah, it's...
Ooh.
So...
Ooh.
That does actually stray from the other Zeldas. You
Yeah,
save your sister
well, that's-
instead of Zelda.
Yeah, so the... I like
You
that
do,
you...
save your
I like that you
sister.
save your
You would've met
sister...
I thought Tetra was Zelda. Was that the
No.
entire thing?
Tetra is Zelda.
Tetra is Zelda.
Mhm.
She is active in the game until she is uncovered as Zelda. Then she is no longer a part of the game.
Okay.
Then she sits in her Zelda room.
She
Got
sits in the Zelda room with the King of Red Lions.
So, the Zelda twist would have been a really nice twist if the game wasn't 10 years old and I already knew the Zelda twist.
Exactly. Well, the Zelda twist is
I mean,
always
it's
the same.
painfully obvious.
Yeah, just like with
Yeah.
Sheik in Ocarina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. It's, like, it would have been a nice thing to be like, oh, no, that's Zelda, and then the reveal, but obviously since it's like, no, this is Zelda, this has been made very clear for
Yeah.
the 10 years that this game
My
is...
problem is
14 now.
A couple years.
Yeah.
But my problem is that Tetra was, quite clearly a very capable little pirate.
Yeah.
But when she puts a dress on, she's not allowed to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm very upset about that.
Strong social
I mean-
commentary of the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Well,
It sure is.
you guys didn't finish the game, but in the last boss fight against Ganon, Princess Zelda helps you out a buttload.
Yeah,
She shoots
but
arrows for you. It's pretty nice.
she doesn't get to do anything else.
Well, no, yeah, they definitely. I'm just saying they didn't completely disable her.
Like, I just feel like they could have joined forces and she could have
Yeah.
just been on the ship sometimes,
Yeah,
She could have just still been doing her pirate
And
things.
I think the fact that it wouldn't have been so annoying if it wasn't like that they literally locked the princess away in a tower.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
No, they literally.
It's like,
yeah.
okay,
Like, if
yep,
it had
you've,
been her
you've done
choice.
that.
Yeah.
But the king guy specifically is like, no, it's too dangerous for you.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous for you,
Helps me
the
a
lady
little.
with all of this
It's
pirating
like-
experience.
Yeah.
But this kid that learned how to use a sword 10 days ago, he's good.
Yeah.
He
I
get
just
killed.
realized
with
the
Dark
entire
Lord.
story arc in the Ranger's Apprentice books is stolen from Zelda.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking. Like, can we get him to leave the room?
My opinion is that the story was like standard for Zelda games.
Definitely.
I would rather that they push the boat out more, but George's... that was... But George's is kind of like, I wish they would have stuck to the formula more.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I wish
thought
that-
that's what you're saying
No,
earlier.
I'm saying that I think that it was horrible that Tetra/Zelda couldn't.
No, not about
Much
that bit
before.
specifically. Yeah, much before. You said that, like, you wanted it to feel more like a Zelda game.
Well, yeah,
because
no,
it's-
I'm saying that it didn't feel like a Zelda game in the sense that I was very disenchanted by the world. I understood exactly what was happening, and it's never happened to me before, despite me knowing the basic bread and butter of every Zelda game. Like, when I played Twilight Princess, which was a bit more of a change, but I still felt the sense of mystery, even though it's still the three, the water, fire, and grass temple, and then leaf, whatever it is, and then the big boy temples, and that's just what it is. But just I don't know, it just I was just disenchanted with it. The mystery wasn't there. The story didn't pull me.
Yeah, I think what they did was they got Zelda and they made it super different, but they kind of left the story behind. They didn't really change
Yeah.
much for the story. But again, I feel like the fact that you know exactly what's going on in Wind Waker, like, you don't really get immersed, and the story isn't that incredible. But like, that's not really where the fun comes from for me. The fun for me comes from the puzzles, the combat, and just the charm of everything around me.
I agree. It's very charming.
Yeah.
And the combat is fun, but I don't see it as different to the more recent Zelda games, really.
I personally enjoyed the Wind Waker combat, just like I enjoyed the Link to the Past combat, and then the 2 games in between can suck nuts. Callback.
Isn't Twilight Princess before Wind Waker?
No.
Ah,
A little bit after.
didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Both games.
It came out
but-
around the Wii time because it was a cross-platform Wii and GameCube.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay then.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I just couldn't really. The aesthetic of it was the only thing keeping me interested in it.
It does a good job of doing that, though.
Yeah.
Do we want to nug?
Yeah.
Let's nug it out.
Okay, can we? All right, we're gonna start with Rowan, giving the nug rating because
He's going to rate the tutorial.
I'm going to rate the tutorial and the specific experience of playing the game while not paying attention. Fuck.
that's actually pretty accurate. That's like probably how many nuggets you'd give it.
I'll give it fuck nuggets.
Fuck nuggets is
Fuck
such
nuggets
a,
out of 6.
Fuck nuggets is one of my favorite insults, and I decided that right now.
Rowan.
So I'll give it... I don't know, man. I haven't played enough of the game. But the tutorial was pretty bad. I don't like the tutorial.
Okay.
So it's like...
He didn't like the tutorial because he did the sword tutorial 5 times.
4 times.
Because he kept on getting lost in... Because he thought it was the only thing he could do.
I give it 3 cel-shaded nugs because I...
You like the pigs.
Because I like the pigs.
He liked the pigs.
And I like the way
although
it
it
looked.
took you a real long time to figure out how to press A.
Okay, when I pressed A and the prompt came up, it wouldn't pick up the pig. I'd have to press like 3 times.
I would personally give it a 5 because I love the game. It's my favorite Zelda game, closely followed by Link to the Past because that's just an incredible game. I have just such a great experience and so many great memories of doing specific things. I remember like when I first played it, I was skipping tests that I had to do in school to play it because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna finish this big ass dungeon, boy. And it was just a fun game in general. I personally see the flaws and don't care about them. I think they're the one nug that personally I'm losing is just because there are some frustrating parts, like there are some parts that are really annoying to try and get without internet help. You know, like you have to get like a shitload of Triforce shards toward the end of the game, and that's just not fun because it gets frustrating pretty much. But I personally really loved it, despite that. So I'm gonna give it a 5 nuggets. 5 nuggets out of 6.
I think that I would give it probably a 4 nugs. Cute little pork nuggets.
Little pig nuggets.
I really, it was a beautiful game. It sounded beautiful. It looked beautiful. I loved the pigs. Little oinkers. But it just lacked something for me that that most of the other Zelda games I've played had, and it just didn't feel right. It was too easy, maybe. I'm not sure, but that's why it's 4. I'm interested to continue playing it though.
So, I do not like 3D Zelda games.
Quite clear.
The controls were not enjoyable. A lot of the time I was kind of wrestling with the controls, specifically the camera controls. There's also like just kind of the way 3D Zelda games work with like the jumping, like you run to the end of the platform and it automatically does it. It's just kind of things that I just don't like. Like I know that they're not inherently bad, I just don't like them. It had some of the combat was fun, but it was like, the puzzles were all either too easy or I was just like getting frustrated at like just the littlest things. Like everything has been easy up to this point. Why is this like frustratingly difficult to figure out, and that might just be my problem because I'm terrible at puzzles and stuff. But the story was meh, but overall, I'd probably actually give it a 5 out of 6. Like
Whoa.
I actually, despite everything I didn't like about it, I actually really enjoyed the game. Like, just everything was like really charming. Like, the combat felt really nice. A lot of the problems I had with it were fixed with the re-release, which like makes me go, I kind of want to play the re-release. Whether I would come back to it, I don't know, just because I like, especially the start of it, it's very like, the tutorial is kind of tedious and there's a lot of things that take a lot of time, and I don't know if I would want to go through that, but yeah, I'd say probably a 5 out of 6, which is quite surprising.
Yeah.
To me.
So we've got a...
17 out of 24 nugs.
So you gave it 3?
I gave it 3.
I forgot.
I gave
sorry.
the tutorial 3.
Yeah, 17 out of 24 nugs.
I think because you only played the tutorial, it's probably 17 out of 20 nugs.
I mean, we can. Yeah, sure. We can do 17 out of
Just
20.
take out some nugs.
I was kidding, but okay.
That's more nugs than he has.
No, I know, I know. You have 4 less nugs and you gave it a 3 out of 2.
Shut up.
Twitch.
News.
Uh-huh. So,
I like that.
in the news.
Ruined.
I ruined it. So, Twitch, you guys know how Amazon recently acquired, well, not recently, a bit ago, Amazon acquired Twitch.
I know that now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It was
Amazon,
kind of on the down low.
so they rolled out a couple of changes and stuff that they've been doing.
Reasonably positive.
Yeah, reasonably positive. One of the most recent ones is that Twitch, when somebody is playing a game, if the streamer has opted into it, the game that they're playing will have a purchase link underneath the game that they're streaming. And from that link, 5% of the revenue from the sale goes to the streamer, and the purchase link takes you straight to Amazon where you can purchase the game.
Is that digital or hard copy?
Digital.
No.
I believe you can also. You can, with Amazon, you can choose whether you get a digital or a hard copy.
I know that Amazon sold digital games.
Yeah,
I
they
bought
sell
Guild Wars 2 from them.
they sell a lot of things on
Yeah, they have
on
like
Amazon Prime. They sell a lot of movies and digital games and all that
TV
kind of stuff.
shows and stuff.
I actually heard about this news. I personally think that stream doesn't get enough.
Yeah,
I think 5% enough.
5% should be higher.
They're
but-
like the one that's causing people to click the button. At
Yeah.
least 15.
I'm
But
not sure if it would still be profitable, 'cause-
without Twitch,
How much of that percentage of the total percentage would Amazon be getting anyway?
25.
Yeah.
Are they only getting 25% of the sale?
They're getting 20.
I don't think the upmarket for games is 30%.
The developer.
For digital, it would be.
the
'cause Steam gets
developer
30%.
the developer gets 70. Amazon gets 30 and gives 5 to the Twitch streamer. That's how.
Right.
Yeah. That's how Steam does it.
I don't think 5%'s too little, just because that's
Twitch
marketing.
It's free to go on Twitch, and you can earn money on Twitch. So I think that's fine. They're not erasing the other ways that you can earn money on Twitch.
Yeah, no, they're not
So-
erasing it.
It's just adding to there. It's like a little nice like.
Yeah. I guess it's like, it's not hard for the Twitch streamer to just be like, hey, check out this game. The
Yeah.
the hardest part is just the fact that they're quote unquote selling out. But I don't know, I think it's just,
selling out.
well, everything's selling out. But I think that
I think
I don't
that it
know.
will be abused, but that's okay.
yeah, I just think like
That's okay.
5%'s too little, because without the streamer it wouldn't be happening. Like, that's the whole thing about it for me.
Yeah. Purchasing it also gets you benefits through Twitch. So the person that buys it gets what's called a Twitch crate, which has some random emotes, badges, and you get some bits. Which, if people don't know, that's the new thing where you can kind of like tip the person that's streaming.
What's a bit worth?
That would be good to know.
Less than a Bitcoin.
The translation rate is a little confusing. Last I checked, I think 1,000 bits was $200, maybe. Oh, I could be
like,
way off. Maybe it's 10,000. I don't know.
The
What?
The thing about
Not 10,000 bits.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
The thing about bits is the value of it doesn't really matter because the value is just the market value. Like, all you can do with it is give.
To the streamers.
No, I know, but it's like, it doesn't matter if 1,000 bits is $10 or $100. You're still giving them $10 or $100. Like, the amount doesn't matter.
People donate, there's like a big trend of people donating bits just for the text-to-speech, and then they get real fucking racist.
Yeah, they do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I have two minds about it. Like, it's generally good for industry relations. Like, a lot of publishers and developers and everything really don't like Twitch, or they really don't like YouTube, because to them it's, oh, I'm losing profit because people are watching people buy my game and not buying the game. It's quite good for, being like, hey, we're still supporting developers and everything, but we're still streaming your game. So those people that are kind of, those developers and publishers that are just stuck in the past.
It's a nice way to sort of legitimize.
Also, like, streamers getting more money,
Streamers,
so...
yeah.
Is there
Well, yeah,
anything
exactly.
negative about this?
There is. Streamers are... A lot of streamers aren't trustworthy and have, like, groups of fans and things that could just, like... What's to say that they're not playing a game and hyping the game up as the best thing ever so that people will click on the link
even
to
if it's just a
download
terrible
it?
game?
Yeah, like, they're playing a terrible game. Like, say the controls are terrible. They're like, oh, no, everything's great. But they're, like, struggling with the controls. But people don't know that because they're not playing the game.
I think
And just like, oh, yeah, this is great.
It's fairly hard to do that, though, on Twitch. You're live.
Yeah, it's
live.
pretty easy
You're
to
live
mislead
if you
people.
have a cam and they can see your screen and they see what's happening. They're gonna know if it has a bad frame rate.
Well-
They're gonna know if it's got shitty textures. They're gonna know if you just can't do things.
But a lot of those things are just visual things, not how the game plays. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of things, like, with games is how does the game play, and the streamer's the one that gets that. They get how the game plays, and if they can misrepresent that and go, oh man, this game's so good, make sure you click my button down there with a big scrolling thing at the bottom that's got arrows pointing down.
But why
There's
wouldn't they just
impressionable
play
people.
Why wouldn't
like,
they just play a game that they enjoyed?
They're
They're under no obligation to play shitty games. So.
I mean,
That's true.
even if they do play a bad game and they just want to make money off of it, and they can manage to pass it off as a good game and all that, I think it's important to remember that that's still trusting a stranger on the internet. You need to take everyone's advice with a grain of salt, especially if they're making money off of it. The fact that the customer and all the people in the chat, the viewers, they know that the stream is going to be making money off of it. Just like if you watch a sponsored video, you know that although you can trust the person and trust the fact that they really like the product, you have to take everything with a grain of salt when it's the worldwide tubes.
And I do agree with that. Like, overall, I see it as, like, a pretty positive thing. Like, especially for the fact that, yeah, like, relations may get a bit better between the developers and everything. But, yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of that would be negative. And even then, it's a, oh, what if scenario, Oh, what if somebody does this shady shit?
You guys think there'll be, like, any issues with streamers not knowing their bias? The sort of thing is, like, they know they'd earn more money if people thought the game was good. So they're sort of, like, enjoying the game more than they normally would.
So they're just, like, subconsciously, like, I mean, I'm getting money, so it's just kind of like, I'm going to like this a handful more. Kind of like when you get free food and it's fucking delicious, although it's from a bad place.
Yeah, like, I think that is, like, a very common thing, and especially since a lot of these people that it's an opt-in feature, right? Like, I assume maybe you need to be able to get a subscription. I mean, like, you need a sub button on Twitch or something. They haven't actually, to my knowledge, from what I've seen, you don't
like
have
a partner is the word?
Yeah, you
Be a
might have
Twitch
to be a
partner.
partner. But there's partner, and then there's having a sub box, and they're two separate things, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And so there's things like that, like if a small person got a hold of it and they haven't been doing it for very long and they don't realize those kinds of things, like that you will inherently be biased towards it. It could be a thing, but also whether it will be harmful or not is a
I
what
think
if
that
scenario.
Yeah.
think the damage will be overall very minimal.
Yeah, I think it's definitely doing more good than harm.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the biggest harm is just not trusting some stranger on the internet, like you
Yeah,
said.
like maybe you'll buy a shitty game if you don't read other reviews. That's your own fault.
Yeah,
really.
and do we know if Amazon does refunds if you buy a shitty game because a streamer told you
I'm
to?
not sure.
That's
I don't
a
think they
good
do
question.
refunds for
They
physical
wouldn't for
games.
digital games.
Physical.
Oh.
Yeah, for digital games they might.
Digital games would make more sense for them to do it because it's easier.
I
Costs
mean,
less money
would they be
do
able
it.
to? Because then, like, once you register a code, you
I
can't
don't,
unregister
I
it.
don't think they can take that key off of you, especially if it's like you just register it on Steam,
Well,
which may
maybe.
be the case.
Yeah.
But still, that's your own fault for not reading the reviews.
Well, yeah, I think overall it's definitely a good thing.
If
like,
you're going to
Yeah.
make a purchase, you look into what you're buying, unless it's just, hey, I'm hungry, I'm gonna grab a biggity burger.
and even then, what's in that biggity burger?
Exactly.
Is this biggity burger gonna be bad for you?
So, the next story that
I
we
really
have.
wonder. I have to wonder.
What's that?
What we'll be getting on the Amazon orders. We'll be getting the ocean tax.
That was a terrible.
That was
segue.
terrible,
Georgia.
I know, I just do it to piss Ryan off.
I like every segue because it's always cheesy.
Ocean tax. We love the ocean tax. If you're a regular listener of the podcast, you will know how much we love the ocean tax.
For viewers who don't know, the ocean tax is what... It's the Antichrist.
It's Australia.
Yes. Being in Australia is the worst because digital goods do not need to be shipped overseas.
The ocean tax. Okay. The ocean tax is a lovely little term that we use for the tax that gets put on our, not just games, just things in general, just items in general that I may wish to purchase.
Australians pay more just for the fact that we are in Australia.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's hard to get shit across the Pacific, so we spend money on getting across the Pacific.
But it's not.
And the problem is that because to keep digital goods competitive with physical goods,
Yeah.
we are paying more for digital goods because then physical goods aren't competitive, which
And now
causes a
Steam-
problem.
Steam has jumped on that boat.
Yes.
Previously,
hell yeah, money,
previously
love it.
Steam was the cheaper option for us.
Yeah.
We
well,
could go
here's-
into
humble.
our yeah.
But here's the thing. So Steam does not earn extra money from this, just so you know. So basically, what's happening is an email was sent to developers that say a 10% GST will be added to all purchases made in Australia starting July. So from then we'll be getting GST. Where every game will cost 10% more is the end result. That means the government gets money from sales made on Steam.
I've already given the government enough fucking money, okay? Half my
God.
pay
Oh my
gets
God.
taxed.
Well, then you're gonna get it back.
I'm gonna get it
You're gonna
back.
get it back probably around July.
But I'm not gonna be happy about it. This just gives me another excuse to buy games off the Humble's Bundle store, because I get 10% off for having our monthly, and it probably won't have the 10% tax.
Yeah, no. It won't.
So I'm just gonna buy
You're
games off
negating
Humble
it.
Bundle now.
It's specifically Steam.
Do
so,
we
yeah.
know what country pirates video games the most? Because I
Probably
feel like
us.
Australia would be.
I have the answer. It's Australia.
Yeah,
Is it?
okay.
Yeah,
because
we-
of all
Yes,
this
very
bullshit.
specifically.
We
Yeah.
pirate the most of everything.
Is this out of like population percentage or just raw numbers?
I
Because
believe
we would not be able to beat America in raw numbers, because
I
It would be a
believe it's
ratio.
percentage, but the thing is, like, even raw numbers, I would believe, just because of the fact, like, we don't get things that America gets. Like,
Exactly.
like if we want the latest TV show that has come out, you need to shill out
Get a dang
$50 a
VPN.
month to Foxtel.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you need to watch it
And our
on their terms.
Our Netflix just has nothing on it.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. So, this isn't only happening for Australia. So, starting March, they're slowly rolling it out country for country. It'll be Australia's turn in July, but starting from March, it'll be happening in Switzerland, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, Iceland, India, and Rowan's favourite, South Africa.
oh come on, man!
I didn't have that much rand.
So,
That's a lot of rand.
So if you were going to be like, oh, I will go back to the homeland to buy my games, You can't do that because you're still going to get that tax.
The motherland has no tax.
No taxes in the motherland. That's a very good South African accent.
Rugby, I am right.
Rugby, Boerewors, and the ocean tax.
Half of these places aren't even
Disappointing.
surrounded by ocean.
I thought you were going to say half these places aren't even real.
I was gonna make that joke, but I was like, I don't want to be the racist guy again.
But that's who you are.
That's who I am.
That's your thing.
Ah!
We ranted a lot less about the ocean tax than I thought we would.
Fuck
But
the
that's
ocean
fine.
tax.
We can
It's
continue.
because
Which is
I.
so bad. Look, we can't do anything about this.
We
The
can't do
government
anything
just
about
hates
it.
us.
But also the
We don't
main
have good
thing.
internet. We don't have more expensive games.
We don't even have enough good internet to download the games that cost more.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I didn't rant about it that much is because, first of all, I'm always internally ranting about everything.
Yeah.
So, like, letting it out just kind of is like a fucking flood door. But also because the main thing I hate about the ocean tax is the fact that in America, a liter bottle of vodka is $12, and over here it's like $6,000. It's like, the alcohol is the most frustrating part of it for me.
I mean, it's like $80, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still a lot.
No, it's
Yeah,
legitimately $12
to give
in
people
America.
an actual
No,
thing.
but in Australia.
No, yeah, no, I know.
To give people who may be listening in America, I think we have one listener in America.
We do have one listener.
So enjoy this,
Do you-
one listener in
Listener,
America.
do you own a Hot Wings place? Is that you who follows us on Instagram?
Is your name Kevin?
Let us know.
With an
Leave a
M.
comment.
If your name is...
I've always wanted an American boyfriend.
If your name is
Keep it in
Kevin
the
with an
box,
N
no.
at the end, with an M at the end, then I'm gonna kiss you because I'll be like, "Thank you, Kevin."
Kevin's
What?
Hot Wings.
Kevin the wingman.
Let's move on.
So the ocean tax.
No.
That was,
We-
that
we
was a
done-
meme.
we
That,
just
that was a
finished talking
meme.
about-
That was a meme.
So, some nice, less ranty news. The Video Game History Foundation has been something that has been started. So it was started by Frank Cifaldi. He's previously worked at 1UP and Gama Sutra. He's the head of it. He also worked on the Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Ooh.
So he has basically started the Video Game History Foundation, which is, as a quote from them, it's dedicated to figuring out how to save as much video game history as we can and make it accessible to everyone.
Okay.
Which is actually something we talked about last week.
Yeah, like the archival of video games.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, it seems like a really good thing. So they've got, they're not for profit, and they're using crowdfunding to support it. From what I can see, it's just Patreon at the moment. He previously founded Lost Levels, which is a website that catalogs unreleased games.
That's our second Mario game.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what it's named after.
yeah.
I know.
And yeah, it's just a really cool thing that he's doing. Like it's.
He just really
I
wants
love
people to appreciate where video games came from.
I like
Just
video
cool.
games.
Yeah, it's a great thing, especially for like video games being seen as a form of art and all
Yeah.
of that. Like
Is that
it's
still being
great.
debated? Video games are art. Shut up.
Like
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
very
it's-
much still being debated.
That's stupid.
I mean, the video
Old
games
people
had a
just need to
showing.
stop.
Didn't video games like have it showing in the Gallery of Modern Art?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like-
5 years ago, I went to it.
Yeah,
It was cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually did go
Yeah,
to it.
we did go to that.
No,
That was
you
cool.
didn't go to it.
I didn't go to it.
That was cool. You didn't go. Oh, it sucks.
What the hell?
I thought I remembered doing that, but that
No.
might have been something else.
I feel like once you're in the Gallery of Modern Art, even briefly, you're kind of art.
Yeah, people would really.
This is the 90s.
A lot of people would disagree, but definitely it's an art form.
Go on.
So it's a really positive thing. So if people want to look it up, they have a Patreon page. I don't know if they have anything else, but it seems like a cool thing.
Support a really cool idea.
Yeah. Another nice quote from him. Video games matter, and we want to make sure their roots are never forgotten.
Ah,
Yeah, that's nice.
like trees.
Like trees.
Speaking
We don't
of-
want to forget about trees.
Speaking of roots,
Our last news story is that Ark,
My boys, Wildcard Studios.
Wildcard Studios, are going to be paying modders. So next
Specifically for Ark.
specifically for Ark.
Ark
So-
mods.
they're not just going to be giving random modders
They-
like, "Hey, you made that mod for Fallout 4. Have some money."
Yeah. So basically what they're doing is they're launching a new program next week. Basically they've selected 15 modders and they're just giving them $4,000
Like
each.
monthly, they will be selecting 15 modders.
Monthly?
Yeah, monthly.
Okay, it's every month? Okay. So they'll be giving them $4,000 for their work.
Yeah.
And
Each.
basically they want to encourage people that at the moment are just hobbyists, because people that make mods, like, they don't get money for it, they just do it because they love
they're
it.
saying they have to put in a whole heap of effort, and they do. They have to put in a whole heap of effort and take away from their, time they could be playing Ark. But they have to go and they have to work full-time jobs, and then they're doing this, and they want to reward them for putting so much, passion into their game.
And I definitely think that modders should be rewarded for their work. I do not agree with paid mod programs, which is previously the way they tried to do that. But finding other avenues of being able to pay modders for their work is great. Like, whether they're, if they're crowdfunding or if they're this kind of thing, it's great.
I
Modders
just
just
have
do
to
good work.
wonder, what does this mean? Do they own part of the mod now? Does it become a official mod?
Yeah,
That's-
do they have the rights to just be like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's in the game now?
Yeah,
I mean, if it's 15 people a month, that's a lot of content to permanently add to your game.
I don't.
Well, not all
Well,
of it. They could just
I-
pick and choose.
I think
Yeah.
it will. I think
Well, I
it
think
will
it
all
could
be
be
separate mods.
Of course, there'll be separate mods.
Yeah,
but,
it won't be
they
like
may have
they're
different
in the
game
game
modes.
now.
They may have different ideas. But then I've seen some mods where it's just like we've added, and they did eventually add it. You could make beer as a mod before you could make beer in the game, which
Yeah,
is
that
now
actually
a real thing.
that happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
Just adding things that were in mods into
So
games just
I
because it
do
worked
wonder
well.
if it will be just individual items. Or if it'll be,
Like-
you can get a dinosaur skin to make it look like this.
Yeah, that's something that happened in like a lot of other games in the past. Like
Yeah.
Skyrim did Hearthfire. I'm not sure because there were a lot of house mods, but definitely helped ruin the house
definitely.
mods.
Yeah.
And then there were mods for Hearthfire, and it was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I just think it's cool, but I'm confused.
Yeah, there's still a lot of information
It's
about
like,
it
I
that we
don't see what
know.
they get out of it. Like,
Well, unless
for how much they
own the
pay.
content.
Yeah, unless they own the content.
Well, the thing is about this, which is something that I've believed, is that modders, like, more people do come to games because of mods. Like, it just increase sales generally. Like, for people, if you're encouraging modders and there are really good mods, there can be a to get this game for mod.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's a mod that changes all the dinosaurs into dragons, and someone's like, I really like dragon games, I want to have everything as a dragon.
Isn't
And they're like, there we go,
You know
I've
what
got
I'm
my
saying?
dragon game.
Armor 2 with Daisy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Exactly, Armor 2 with DayZ, that's a really good example. Like,
But-
people got Armor 2 because DayZ was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know many people that got it because of Daisy.
It's like, I get that, but paying 15 people 4,000 each a month seems a bit...
Well, that's why I thought it was a one-time thing, but it's, apparently it's every month.
What I read was that it was a monthly thing.
Yeah.
They are making quite a lot of money.
Well,
So they
it sounds like they're
can
doing
afford
pretty
it.
good even after that one lawsuit.
Yeah.
They definitely are making a huge decision to do this, so they would have to have a lot of confidence behind it, and they would have a reason for it to be such a high amount of money so frequently.
I have to wonder if there's something a little shady going
There
on.
are definitely ulterior motives,
You know.
but they're only saying like, we're here to help modders because that's good for PR.
And even if it is a thing that they're actually bringing, if the mods are coming into the game as just like official parts of the game, well then that just furthermore, they're getting more like Ark already pumps out the content. Every time I open up Steam, it's like, oh, Ark's downloading something again because just almost every day, like it's
Ark nearly updates daily.
it's like some of them are small, but then some of them are like, oh, there's a new dinosaur every week or two.
I started
That's
following the
good.
dinosaurs being added to Ark, and I need to play that game again.
Yes, you do.
Is there any cool water dinosaurs now? Other than...
So many.
Because when I last played, I think there were only Megalodons.
There's a lot more. They will woo.
They will woo you.
They will.
I want to play Ark.
So, Rowan, besides the hours that you've spent playing Wind Waker, what have you been playing this week?
Yeah, what did you play instead of Wind Waker?
Played more Gungeon.
I played a little bit more
We
Gungeon.
don't speak of Gungeon.
Played a little bit more depth. But the two games I played this week for the first time that I haven't played before are both local multiplayer games, Nidhogg and Lovers in Dangerous Spacetime.
Did you not play Nidhogg before we played it together?
No, I've never played it.
Oh, damn it. That makes me losing feel much worse. It's a fun game. Nidhogg?
Yeah, I've never played it, but it
It's-
looked fun. I saw you guys playing it the other day.
It's just that game has so many, for how simple it is, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah, it all feels really fluid as well.
Yeah, like, I
Which
don't think, I didn't play it that much, but I played just enough to know I want to play a lot more. And it's just, also, I don't think I've lost, which helps.
Yeah.
But it's just such a fun game. It's just so satisfying to stab someone in that game, because they just kind of, you really feel it, even though it's like very basic visuals. You feel it when you stab someone, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean...
I love the way the game mode works as well, because a lot of things like that would just be like, oh, it's just a death match, you just kill them a certain
and
amount
like-
of times. But the fact that it's like a tug of war between game screens is like, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's
Also,
really cool.
It gives you so many more options, though. Like, it's like you don't have to kill the guy, you can
Just
knock
run
knock
past.
them out, or just jump over them, run past. It gives you, like, more ways to do it.
Mm.
It's really
Yeah,
cool.
so I ended up enjoying that a lot more than I thought I would.
Did you play Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time with your girlfriend?
Yes.
Yeah, I played it for the first time last year. I got it for my birthday. I played it with Ryan and my sister, and it was very fun.
Yeah, it's a great
It's a
game.
beautiful little game.
Alright, so far I've only played the first mission. But I definitely want to play more.
It's so cute.
Even like in the first mission, they introduced so many mechanics to you.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
Which-
really fun, like, discussing with your, like, you know, it's local co-op only, so you've got to do it in person. So it's real fun discussing, like, oh, okay, you go do this, like, and they're like, no, I don't want to do that, I want to steer. And I'm like, please don't steer, you're bad.
Yeah, what we did
But,
was
you know-
there's a shield guy
Yeah.
and then a shooter guy. And the shield guy is also the steering guy, but the shooter guy is always the shooter guy.
We did it differently.
I just wanted to shoot
I guess we had
things.
3 people, though, so.
Yeah, we did. And it's also like arguing with people over which power-ups you get, because everybody wants different power-ups. And then
Yeah, we
It's-
managed to stay pretty civil.
yeah, we did actually, because
Yeah.
we're like, oh yeah, this one's cool.
Yeah, we were like, let's see
Wait,
what
you have to
this
choose
one does.
between power-ups eventually?
Yeah.
You get to mix and match them as well.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna get in heated arguments.
And, like,
Yeah.
different gems and stuff do different things.
I know you will. I know you.
Yeah,
But yeah,
love
it's really
seeing
fun.
games.
We got
It's
about,
great.
we're only about halfway through, though, I think. But yeah, it's real fun. Real great.
I don't know anything about Love in Space Time, but it seems really fun.
You should play it with
Based
us
on the words
sometime.
you guys
Yeah,
just said.
we can play
We could all play it.
it. We could all play
Be a
it.
good
All
old
together.
time.
Yeah, it's
I
four
want,
player.
I want
Yeah.
to find as many games as we can all play together because I spent too much of my teen years playing just single player games and I catch up.
Yeah, I just love playing couch co-op games.
Yeah,
they're just
they're great.
it's
I love that,
great.
and I love playing games with.
Oh yeah, it's local multiplayer, so we can
friends.
actually do that for a thing.
Yeah.
If we just all fit on one laptop.
Well, you get
Okay,
control.
Oh yeah, controllers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got 2 controllers. One of them's terrible, so Georgia will be using that.
No.
As long as I'll bring controller for Georgia. As long as me and
See,
Ryan are on
Rowan
the same
tricks me, right?
are on the same laptop.
Hey Micah,
What is up?
what have you been playing?
That is a bad question. Because not much.
Nothing. I've just been playing more.
See, I've only played 2. I haven't played the first.
You should really get into. No.
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a joke.
No, I know. Yeah, well, I know it was a joke, but was it funny?
No.
Was the more question?
It was not.
Did I laugh?
A thing I've noticed while editing this podcast is most of the time after Rowan makes a joke, you know it because it's an awkward silence. And it
And then
happens
me
every
being
time.
mean to him.
And then Georgia.
Yeah.
Um, I've been playing a little bit of Ark. I played some more Flame in the Flood because I've been doing some assessment on some of the artists. And tapped up fish. As usual.
Oh yeah, I played a little bit of Enter the Gungeon because I do the same assessment.
Yeah.
Still a fun game.
It is fun.
Not a happy game.
Yeah, I've been playing with more Fire Emblem Heroes.
Did I say Enter the Gungeon instead of Darkest Dungeon?
You did.
You did.
I meant to say Darkest Dungeon. I played a lot of dungeon games.
Sure did.
Played so many dungeon games and no Wind Waker. To be seen.
That's a dungeon game. There's dungeons in that. I just didn't get to one.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't finish it. It's not it. Okay, does it count as a dungeon
Don't even...
if it's open?
What did you
It's
go
a
to?
no the place with the spotlights the first dungeon that you go to. It's not the definition of a dungeon. It's not underground, but it's a dungeon. It's a Zelda dungeon.
No, it's not a dungeon because the dungeons are the 3 at the start where you get the.
What?
This is how they're called.
The 3 at the start?
The 3 at the start, 3 starting dungeons, and then
The ones that you get the orbs from.
Yeah. And in other games, they're gems and shit. The 3. The fire, water, and green.
Yeah, and green.
Earth.
No.
It's green.
It's called Earth.
Green!
And
But-
this one's it's called Earth.
Those are called dungeons,
like-
and then the next ones are called temples.
The first one that I'm talking about is referred to as a dungeon.
Is
Yeah,
it?
but
It
it's
is.
not a dungeon though.
It's not a
That's what I
dungeon
was
by
saying.
definition. I didn't agree with you. Didn't disagree with you at any point about the definition of the word dungeon.
Rowan's just confusing people.
I'm confusing myself. I don't know what I'm arguing for anymore.
Rowan's being
You're-
weird stuff.
Go
Again.
Power Ryan!
Something I've gotten back into this week is since last week they updated Pokemon Go. I've been playing quite a bit of it, and honestly, I'm having a good time with it. Like I like to think that it's because I enjoyed the game and wasn't just like on the bandwagon when it was coming through. But it's like the reason I stopped playing the game was mostly because besides the rare Pokemon, I pretty much had everything like that could easily be found. And so it was like most of it was just catching the same Pokemon over and over again, and I wasn't getting anything new. But now there's new Pokemon, and probably when I run out of those, I'm just going to stop playing until they release the next generation. But so far, I'm having fun with it. I'm getting new Pokemon. I'm like, oh, there's this over there. I want to go get that. And they've actually made like good additions to the game.
Yeah.
Like the new berries and stuff. Like they're like, oh, you give it this berry and you get more candies when you catch it.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
you...
there was only a raspberry before, wasn't there? Yeah.
And there's one that stops them from running away and stuff. So they've
Ooh.
added some.
Good stuff. The thing that annoys me the most is that there's items you need to evolve some certain Pokemon, and they're the worst thing in the world to get. There's like a 50% chance you get one if you get if you do first Pokestop of the day every day for 7 days. So you gotta like at least play the game and get to a Pokestop for 7 days in a row. And there's like a 50% chance you'll get it. I didn't get it, and I was quite annoyed.
So they're really just MMOing it.
Yeah, they are. They're like,
Yeah.
play it every day.
Yeah.
But you do get like a bunch of rewards for doing it, which is pretty good. And
And like it's kind of like
it's
wow.
also like 1 in every like 750 Pokestops. That's about the chance that you have of getting one of the evolution items, and then the evolution items are random, so it might not be one you want or need. Yeah. Ooh, bad. Yeah.
It's just WoW. Every time they bring out a new expansion, you can get back into it. I know a lot about WoW. Look at me.
do. Oh, look at the WoW boy.
I'm the WoW boy. I play
Yeah.
Murlocs.
Morlocks.
And honestly, I
There we go,
haven't been
someone
playing.
did it.
I haven't been playing much else besides that. So
So for the next Game Fallout game, we're going to be doing Fallout 4. Feel free to go ahead and play along with us. We will be talking about all the spoilers, every single one.
Oh yeah.
I will personally spoil every single aspect of the game. Next week we'll be talking about modding.
Topic of the week will
Yeah.
be modding.
Modding.
over there.
So let us know. Do you like it?
Do you like it? Do you hate it?
Do you
Do you want to put a ring on it?
Do you like
Oh.
this?
Talk to me next week.
If you want to get in touch with us and let us know your opinions on anything we spoke about this week or any of the previous weeks, we'd love to hear from you. You can find us at the Nuggcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we're the Nuggcast on YouTube.
Have a great day.
Bye, baby.
Have a great day.
Bye, baby.
Or night, depending on the time.
Keep on going.
Have
Bye.
a majestic morning.
Keep your hopes up, Jimmy. Things will get better.